Hi guys, I haven't really been able to do much this week, mainly because the weather's just been so bad because in England we've had a lot of snow, so I haven't been able to work Zorro very much, so I do apologise for that. I have got a few videos of him because I still take him to the park and have fun with him and stuff like that. I just haven't been able to sort of risk going out too much because the ice is so bad, and I absolutely hate ice for the fact that I'm not that good on my legs, so I really you get that sort of shock when you suddenly feel your legs go from underneath you if you slip. So I haven't been able to go out much just because of the fear of, if anybody's going to fall over, it's going to be me. And obviously with Zorro as well and things, he feels the cold a lot more because he is a smaller dog, and the type of fur he has, it's like our human hair really. So any time that it's quite cold and wet and things like that, he feels it, and you can see him sort of shivering sometimes, and I don't like to obviously put him through that if I don't need to. He does have a coat on and it is fleece lined, but it's it's snow and it's cold, so there's not much that I can really do about that and things. We did try this week putting boots on him. He doesn't really think much of them at the moment, but I think it's just going to take a little bit of getting used to and things. He kind of walks a little bit funny with them. I'll try and find a video out and put it on this. But yeah, we haven't really been able to do much because of the snow, and so it has been a kind of boring week, really, because, other than having like Christmas and stuff like that, that was great, and New Year's, we just kind of stayed in and chilled out, really, had some alcohol, and that was about it, really. Hopefully this year is going to be a lot better. Hopefully I can get a lot more stuff sort of filmed and getting new cameras and things so that I can make better content for you guys. But yeah, in the long run, I just want to hope everything that goes up and things like that. I'm a little bit nervous and things. My anxiety's been getting the better of me recently because I've got an appointment at the hospital coming up, and it sits and plays on my mind a little bit sometimes. So, and because it's about an illness that I've had for many years and things like that, and I've always sort of been told that there's nothing really much they can do about it, and now I have this appointment out the blue to talk to another doctor about it, so I'm really fingers crossed that they've sort of found something that they might be able to do. And also it'll be Zorro's first trip up the hospital with me to an appointment, so I'm a little bit nervous about that as well. Just because he's never been in that type of environment before. He's been in doctor's surgeries, but obviously being in a hospital environment can be a little bit different and things. He did settle quite well when we took him into the doctor's surgery before, though. So it's a good thing that he did that, so that it kind of, I hope that he kind of does the same when he goes into the hospital environment and things. I just hope I don't have any trouble with taxis, because I've had it in the past where I've put in a note to, when I'm ordering a taxi, to say I've got an assistance dog, but they still turn up like really confused that I've got a dog. And I've even, I've had them like refuse me and stuff like that, but because it's their own vehicle, their private vehicle and things, apparently they can say no. So I don't know if anybody knows any more about the law with that, because I'm a bit uncertain about that myself, so I'm not sure, because like I say, it's their own vehicle and things. It's not like it's a company vehicle or anything like that. I'd sort of argue it a bit more if it was company vehicle and company policy and all that lot. But as it's their own vehicle, I suppose, I don't know whether they can refuse you or not. But I just hate the fact that I keep telling the operator, and I keep sort of writing it down and stuff to say I've got a dog that needs to come with me. He's my assistant's dog, and then the driver still looks shocked, and then I end up late to wherever it is I'm supposed to go. But this is the hassle of everyday life for some people with assistance dogs or service dogs, that they have to deal with, and it shouldn't be really. It should just be a case of, hop in, and that's it. As long as your service dog or assistance dog is well trained and doesn't get like car sickness or anything like that, then I don't see the problem in things. As long as it's not going to jump around in the car or, try and distract the driver or get in the front seat and things, I don't see the problem. Unless the taxi driver has got like a genuine medical reason of why they can't be by dogs, then that's fair enough and that's acceptable and things, but I don't see why they just flat out refuse just because there's a dog in their car. And my dog is a Yorkshire Terrier. He doesn't have fur, it doesn't molt, it doesn't come off him, so he has like I say, he has more like human hair and things, so you have to groom him and you have to cut his fur and things. So as well, I've stated that to taxi drivers and stuff like that, and I still get declined and said no, sorry. So that is a bit of a hassle, but yeah, that's just the one thing that I'm just not looking forward to, because obviously as well, I don't want to be late for my appointment at the hospital, and I keep phoning up the operators and stuff like that and saying, I've got a sister's dog, please make the drivers aware, and for some reason it just never goes through. So if anybody has any tips or advice on what to do in those situations and things, please let me know in the comments down below, because I could really use it in that sort of situation. And if anybody has an assistance dog or service dog, please let me know what your experiences were for the first time of taking your dog into a hospital setting and things, just because I'm curious. And how did your dog deal with it and things any differently than any other situation that you'd normally go? Because obviously hospital appointments and things like that are going to start to become more of a regular thing for me, but it's something that Zorro hasn't done yet as an assistance dog. So what would anybody recommend basically to do to prepare him for the hospital trip and the hospital visit? He does know all of his basic stuff and things like that. He knows sit, stay, wait, down, all that things. And he, obviously he knows how to alert to me and things like that, and do pressure therapy, which is what I need. But I'm just worried and things like that if I need to lie on the doctor's bed and things like that, and my anxiety starts playing up, because that's when it genuinely starts to get worse and things, because I'm very body conscious on myself. And if the doctor needs, just simple thing like if he needs to lift my top up to sort of press on areas and things, I get quite anxious about it. And obviously I don't want Zorro trying to jump up to alert to me when the doctor's stood right there. So because he's a small dog, I was wondering, if he'd be allowed on the bed with me and things like that, or whether he'd have to still sit on the floor by my side. But then again, he might be in the doctor's way, so I don't know what's best. I'm hoping the doctor isn't going to be difficult about the situation. I have let them know in advance that I'm coming with an assistance dog, and I haven't heard anything back or a reply or anything, so I'm hoping that they got it, and I'm hoping that they'll be alright with it and things, because again, they can't refuse him, but you can always get stubborn people and things like that don't think it's right or agree or anything like that, or don't want to be by the dog. So yeah, that's the one thing that it's just playing on my mind recently and things, because it's coming up. And yeah, I just hope it goes well, really. But I think because I have anxiety and PTSD, it's the thing that stuff like this, it just plays on my mind the most, and things when I know in all probability he'll be fine, he'll do okay, and things. It's just things that aren't in my control that set me off the most, and things. So stuff like that gets me quite a bit. But I'm sure he'll do fine. I'm sure it's just me. Oh, even my voice goes. But yeah, we did a lot of filming, mainly around like the parks and stuff like that, just of him just being a dog this week, just because, like I say, I've not really been doing much. I've been doing training in the house with him, but that's very easy for him to do, just because he's very, very well relaxed in this environment and setting and stuff like that. There's not many distractions and things. So I haven't really been able to test him and make him really work that much this week. So, which has been quite annoying. And I know that Zorro has been kind of bored because he is a dog that is always on the go and always likes to sort of use his brain and think and get challenged and stuff. And we've not really been able to do much out and about in the house and things, because he hates the cold. And I hate it. Like I say, because of the ice, I don't risk going out that much. The only thing I've been going out for is to literally walk him around the park and things, like 2-3 times a day sometimes, but that's it. And I always like look like Bambi on ice, is what I sort of think I look like anyway. But yeah, it's been challenging because this is my first assistance dog. I've trained others for other people and things, but I've never trained one for myself and things, because I've always sort of thought, oh, it's fine, I don't need one, I'll be okay and things like that. And then at the beginning of last year, having like a mental breakdown and getting help and kind of coming to terms with the fact that, yeah, I do need the support and I do need the help of an assistance dog. And I really wish that I would have accepted it sooner, because he's helped me so much, and I wouldn't have had to have gone through all the stuff that I went through if I'd have had the help of an assistance dog back then. So yeah, it was a bit of stubbornness really from my part and things, not to think that, well, shaming other people with assistance dogs and stuff like that, or I don't want one or need one to do that, I'm not disabled or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It was just, I didn't want to put all the time and effort into myself and things. I would rather work on doing that for somebody else, and kind of having to take a step back and kind of, looking at myself and kind of think, well, if I am completely mentally unstable myself, how can I help somebody else? And I can't possibly train somebody else's assistance dog or service dog to help them when I'm struggling myself. And I found that with it, like I found when I was training other people's dogs and stuff like that, it was a lot harder, and I would get frustrated quicker and I'd have to stop the training, which is very unprofessional for one, and it just took longer to do the training, and sometimes I'm going to admit it wasn't successful because of my own mental health, and dogs pick up on that so quick. So why would they listen to somebody that's not sure of themselves? So yeah, there were cases that just didn't work out, and I had to recommend other trainers and things because I needed to take a break for myself. But I think in the long run, I'm really glad that I did, because I wouldn't have Zorro now. And he's, there's been a few incidents and stuff like that he's helped prevent, in the long run. You know, I haven't had to go to hospital as many times now and things because of collapsing and fainting and stuff like that. Things like that he's been able to prevent because he's alerted me to it and things, whereas if I didn't have him, I know for 100% fact that I would have passed out on the floor and I would have hit my head so many times. And I've already suffered a stroke when I was, well, it was about 7 years ago. I suffered a stroke when I worked as a care worker, and oh, excuse me, and I've tried to get over that, and I thought that I could just carry on as normal and things, and I didn't really realise how much of a head injury and things I had until sort of later on, really, because I suffer with a thing called post-concussion syndrome as well, which basically means that I walk around 24/7 with a concussion, and I could feel faint in the drop of a hat and things. It's usually down to if it gets really hot or warm, if you've gone from being cold outside, which at the moment is a right struggle, being cold outside to going into a place that's quite warm, and that I just can't deal with it, and I will just pass out there and then. And I get terrible migraines and things, and he's trained to sort of help me deal with that a little bit more as well. And this is all sort of when my anxiety started kicking in, because I was so worried about passing out in a dangerous place, like, because I just couldn't tell when I was going to pass out. So oh, excuse me. So I was worried about passing out whilst crossing a busy main road, or just passing out, walking down the stairs, or just in a shop and things where people would notice. And I was just afraid of having another stroke and things as well, because it took so long to recover from it. I couldn't speak, I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I had to learn how to do all those things again. And it took a lot of effort, a lot of hard work. And obviously I lost my job as a care worker because of my stroke. Actually, if I can't talk or read or write and things, and I can't use my left hand and things like that very much because of the stroke, because it's weakened, then how am I supposed to look after somebody else? So, I had to sort of make that decision, and it was not a very good day that day when I had to give up my job, because I loved my job as a care worker, and if I could do it again, I'd go back in a heartbeat and do it, because I worked with the best team, and it was so much fun. And it was really nice as well, because that place was a dog friendly place, so a lot of the workers and things would bring their dogs to work with them and things, and let the residents and things like that stroke them and have fuss and things. And on your break times, you take your dog out for a walk, do the business and stuff. So it was really nice, because during my break and that, I just used to play with other people's dogs basically. So that was always fun when I worked there, because it's just nice to have a little furry friend if you're having a bit of a bad day and things, just even as a pet. But yeah, so that's basically my story, really. And on top of having kidney stones, which is what I have to go to the doctors for, basically my kidneys are absolutely rammed with kidney stones, and my kidneys are basically turning into hard calcium, really, and they're not working properly. So that makes me feel a bit rubbish as well, because I just don't have the energy to do a lot of stuff, and it just makes you feel rubbish. It's the nicer way of putting it. So, but hopefully, I've had them for a good few years. I've had them since I was 16, and I'm 28 now. So, and they're in a really hard place for the doctors to get to. So they haven't been able to do anything. They've been I did have like, it's like laser treatment. So they put like, you have to lie down and they put like this big machine over you, and it's a laser that just goes straight through, and it absolutely kills. When they have to put it on the highest setting, it literally feels like you're being stabbed repeatedly in your kidneys. It is not a nice feeling, and like a few times I had to ask them to like stop and things, just so that I could, you know, have a breather and deal with the pain, because when that feeling comes, when that laser's switched on and things, you just can't breathe. So, but that just breaks the kidney stones down. But the problem is my kidney stones aren't in like the tubes where they're supposed to, well, not even where they're supposed to be, but where they usually are. They're in like the meat of the kidneys, so even breaking them down, they can't go anywhere. So they're broken down, but they're still inside my kidneys, and I think at this point they're sort of building back up again, and there's a hell of a lot more of them this time than there was the last time they checked. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do about that next, because they also did keyhole surgery, but again, because the kidney stones aren't in the tubes, they couldn't find anything or see it, and that's when they came to the conclusion last time that there wasn't anything more that they could do. And it, like I say, it's just out of the blue recently that they've like sent me an appointment for my kidneys, because I was in hospital a few weeks ago with the pain again, and like the infections. I had quite a big infection in my kidney, and that's when they started to investigate a little bit more. And now out of the blue, I've had an appointment to go and talk to a kidney specialist about my kidneys. So hopefully can get all that sorted. But yeah, so that's basically me, really. in a big long nutshell, that's me. And again, sometimes I do apologise if I stutter or I can't get my words out right and stuff. It's still part of like the stroke and things like that, and that will always sort of be with me. I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of that. But from going from not being able to speak at all to how I am now, I am quite pleased and proud at the progress that I get. Like, a lot of people, when I'm talking to them normally, and that, don't automatically now think, oh, she's had a stroke, or oh, there's something wrong, you know. So that's good and things. I don't have to sort of, you know, let people know, oh, I'm talking like this, or yeah, I had a stroke and things like that. I don't have to sort of explain too much to people when I'm just talking to them, and they don't really think anything of it, so that's always good. But sometimes if I'm talking for a long period of time, like today it seems, I can stutter up on my words when I'm having to kind of think a little bit much and that. So yeah, that's basically my background. Yeah, and that's basically it, really. I'm gonna put up, like I say, the videos of going through the parks and just sort of enjoying Zorro as a dog this week, rather than an assistance dog, because like I say, we've not been able to do much work. But yeah, please put your comments down below, subscribe, like the video, give me that thumbs up, just because it helps my page so much more and helps spread awareness of assistance dogs and service dogs. It would help me so much. So yeah, I will see you again until next time. Mwah. Go. Go. Zara! Go. Oh dear. Zorro! Come here! Zorro! What you doing? Checking out the snowman. Or what was the snowman? What are you doing? Oh. Good boy. So leave it. Good boy. Come here. Come on.
It won't sign off on my fitness for
here.
beauty evaluation.
Gibbs?
Isn't it a good house call?
I don't. Mind if I go there?
Come here. Come on. Come here.
You okay? No, go.
Aaron Hill passed away.
You're not sure about these shoes, are you? You have to get used to them. Come on.
Sorry about that.
Come here.
Confidentiality is the law. So, I couldn't tell you before I was, Sergeant Hill was involved in the cover up of the murder.
Zorro, go. Yep. He's walking up this.
Sergeant Hill
You've got to get used to them, haven't you?
was in the under duress. First of all, and she barely said a word.
Come here.
Said she was trouble.
Come here. Come here.
She didn't give any details. She didn't want
Hunter. Zara, come here. Come here. So. Good boy. Good boy. Come, round. Sit. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Good boy. Sorry. Focus. Focus. Good boy. Wait. Come. Here. Good boy. Down. Down. Good boy. Come here. Oh, go get help. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy.
If you want to see him again, or maybe we can put you in touch with someone who can help you get in touch with him. Plenty of people out there who help and stuff like that. There you go.
What you want, loving?
I don't know how
You
people
want
get to that
loving?
point where life becomes so difficult for them. It's alright, this is not at the bottom. It's from the wealthiest people to the poorest people and everybody in between. Oh, God.
Oh, my little buddy.
It has increased
My little
to the
buddy.
point where I would say one job every shift, at least, is a mental health issue.
Are you quite happy
It's a
there?
regular part of our week now.
Are you quite happy? Yeah.
Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, proud sponsor of Dr.